Cool. Welcome back, everybody. So we're gonna make hover cars now. Now that I got that out of my system. Get this story published. You'd love to buy it and read it. Dude, you have already heard, like, you want me to write this down? That sounds hard as shit. I ain't doing that. Okay, so real quick, I want to see what the gimbal engine, or how the gimbal engines behave. They gotta, I wonder, there has to be like a limit to how they work, right? Like it has to be the case that they can only rotate on a certain axis or something. Well, maybe not. I don't know, because it looks like they can only rotate around. In this case, it would be the z-axis. Axis. Ugh. Not able to talk very well right now. So we'll see. I'm gonna mess with that real quick and figure out which one I like. And let's again use a couple of thrusters for propulsion here. So I think, yeah, let's go ahead and just strap 3 on here again and use. I wonder what the best way to steer is. I guess it would probably be to have like an actual turning thing on it. Yeah, it would probably be best to have like a real steering hinge on there. So what I can do is, instead of just relying on the lean mechanism, what was it? What's the word I'm trying to think of? Mechanic in this game? Yeah. We're gonna, boy, my mind is really out of it right now. What we're gonna do is we're gonna actually make it so that those engines rotate a little bit and see if that makes it a little bit easier to steer things. So we'll just put this right there and we'll wrap this like that. And let's add in a block, and this block will just have the thrusters on it. And this will allow me to kind of have a little bit of greater ability to like point this thing around. So if I get into here and I thrust, I fucked up because the stuff wasn't attached to anything. So let's try that again and really pay attention to where these things attach. So it looks like they attach because it looks like they should attach wherever the blocks are, which of course I didn't make them face the right way. Of course not. There we go. Now we're talking. So I just need to remember, like, stuff isn't attached until I can confirm that there are gray blocks around it. So this should do it. And I just want to confirm real quick that that's attached. There we go. It was not attached. Okay, so now the gimbal engines are... Okay, those engines are far too... God damn you all! Alrighty then. I need to remember to save my creations even if they're awful, just so I don't lose my progress every time they inevitably explode. So those thrusters were way too high up relative to the actual height of the vehicle. So of course that happened. We'll put a wing on the back. Yeah, I guess I could do something like that. Yeah, I guess if I put a tail fin on there, that would make this a little bit better? Not really sure. But let's go ahead and just do the same kind of general idea that I was doing earlier, but much lower to the ground here. Yeah, this is going to be significantly stabler. Oh, it's going to attach. Okay, there we are. So I move this. I just need to move this up a little bit. There we go. So now it's not going to attach to the base of the vehicle, and this should work a little bit better. It's kind of high, but it might work out okay. I'll just put 1 on there for now, just to be a little bit safe. And we can go ahead and make this thing stupid later on. I promise that I do generally know what I'm doing. I'm just preferring to build fast and scrappy because I want to just experiment with a bunch of things and not lose a ton of time. I'd love to do more involved builds at some point though, so I probably will get around to doing that eventually. These need to be configured to not be space. That's a big thing. So we'll make them Q and we'll make them toggle. And it would really help if I put 4 on. Because then this thing won't go flying horrifically off into the sky. So we'll put this on Q and toggle as well. And now, when I get in here... Damn it, they're upside down. Okay then. That's pretty funny that that works though. Okay, so the thruster is still terrifyingly like not a good idea. I wonder. Okay, let's go ahead and okay, here's the plan. What I need to do is I need to control my descent to the world so that I don't blow up upon impact. So we're just gonna, as we get real close, we're gonna, oh no. Okay, we'll just activate these thrusters slowly. Okay, if I land in the water, I shouldn't have any problems. Wait, what am I thinking? There we go. Backspace. I forgot all about you. Okay, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna put these facing the right direction, and we're gonna make this vehicle a lot heavier. And to do that, I don't know yet. I could do what I usually do when I want to make things heavier in this game, and just stick a bunch of bulldog engines on it. Because those will work. Yeah, wow, the raw jet engine is the heaviest thing by far. So we'll put it at the top and configure it to fire on P, which is a button that I'm not going to press. And we'll see if that made a big enough difference. Huh. Not gonna lie, I have no idea what's happening. I think that this, yeah, it switched to space. I forgot that this game did that. Okay, let's do this now. God damn it, they're still upside down. Oh, of course it's not the problem with them being upside down. The problem is that I'm too top heavy. Why didn't I think of that? Okay, so here's what I need to do. We need to repair this, go into build mode, and we need to just bump these up to be more in line with the center of gravity on this ship. That, I'm a bit of a wingus sometimes. Just a teensy bit of a wingus. And for that, I apologize. I mean, I want everybody to have fun and not get frustrated at my wingussery. So I do feel as though I need to apologize for that. But I think that I hope that you'll all be able to forgive me. The other thing that I can do, I don't need this to be in line with the center of gravity. I need it to be above the center of gravity. So this will probably work. Okay. It does kind of work, but how about is it possible to make these things not so damn powerful? And the answer is no. So this needs to be heavier, as I said. So we're going to attach a really heavy engine on top of it. And we're going to just configure this thing to be P. Oh, right. I already established that the... Jeez. Let's save this thing now. I had already established that I need to make this so it's not top heavy. So if we put this on the bottom, then this should behave okay. Now, it also can't be too bottom heavy because we don't want this thing to flip. Okay, so now it's also front... It's back heavy. So... this is an interesting... It's actually much harder to balance things in this game than I thought it would be. I thought that, you know, it was difficult in Scrap Mechanic to balance things, but it is quite a challenge in this game. So I'm going to stick with a nice symmetric build here as much as I can, and we're going to put these on the sides to split. It should be easier to balance if I do that. And... Indeed, this feels more correct. However, I forgot to make this not space. I forgot to make that P. That is totally unnecessary that I'm just opting for the heaviest block, too. Okay. It's still too back heavy. Oddly enough. So what if I just move these forward a little ways? It's kind of weird. I don't understand what's making this behave the way that it is. What is it doing? Is it the case that this is now so heavy that it can't get any lift whatsoever? Because I'm pressing space and we're not going up in the air. What if I take this off of toggle? This is just to check if these things are actually working or not. So if I take this off of toggle and then press space, yeah, this thing's too heavy now. So what if I... Okay, so let's get rid of these heavy-ass engines. That was totally unnecessary anyway. And what if I... Oh, I didn't know there's a 4x8 block in this game. That's kind of cool. So now, what if I make it so that it's... Bulldog engines. Those are pretty heavy. Where are they? Oh, the raw engine is like half as heavy, and it's the same shape, roughly. So, Bulldog engine, roughly. Oh, wait, it's a raw engine. Oh, never mind. So maybe I'll try that real quick and see if that works. Put that right under there. Okay, see how this behaves. Okay, so now it's front heavy, and that makes a lot of sense. I would expect it to be front heavy with how these things are distributed. So let's move this back a little ways, and back a little ways. Cool, so it's still two... These are... I guess I misunderstood a little bit of what the purpose of the gimbal jet is. The gimbal jet is for stabilization. It's not really meant for what I'm using it for. It's not meant to hover. That's why those hover things are in this game. That's kind of cool. Yeah, I think you're supposed to put this underneath the bottom of your plane so that you can stabilize it as you're flying. That's kind of cool. But yeah, so the thing about the hover is that it will... what am I trying to say? I guess the way that it works physics-wise is that the hover kind of simulates more of that behavior you'd expect to see, wherein you're pushing off of an air column, like that's like underneath. What am I trying to say? So the way a thruster works is like super straightforward. It's just like you know, pushes in the opposite direction of that the propulsion is going. I don't actually know that much physics. I never took a physics class, but the way that the hover works is it will generate lift with like by trying to get an air column underneath the chassis, and so that will that means that if you hover too high, you don't get as much thrust, so it comes back down. But then the closer you are to the ground, the more the air compresses, and the more lift you get off of that. So you end up in this kind of like springing like equilibrium just naturally. So a jet engine doesn't behave that way because it works like a regular thruster. So this is these things are not going to work as hover blocks, which is why they put these hover blocks in the game. I think was because they knew people would want to make stuff like that, but that they wouldn't also want to work all that hard. So that's kind of cool. I explained that really poorly for people that actually know physics, and I don't think my description made a whole lot of sense there. I don't really know physics either. I just kind of know how these things work because I've done video game programming, and in like video game physics engines, you get really used to like how thrust works, and so that's yeah. So that's kind of the basis of my knowledge. It entirely comes from physics engines and video games. So there you go. I'm getting confirmation that that's right, which I find that you might be being a little bit on the generous side by claiming that I'm right, but I do appreciate the confirmation that I'm probably at least in the right ballpark. So let's go ahead and we could totally make bumper cars with this thing. This thing's like actually, these hover things are really cool. I wonder, so I can kind of rotate pretty well just with the body of the gnome guy. I wonder what would be the best way to improve upon this hovercraft, like this base idea of the hovercraft. I wonder what would be the best way to make it more steerable. Like I just kind of wish. So, yeah, if you make it so that you, okay, I know what I can do. I can just add 4 different propulsion engines. So, instead of yeah, okay, this will work. So instead of just trying to rotate the ship too much, I can just make it so that I have 4 different engines, 1 for each direction, and do it that way. Now the problem is that this build didn't have that in mind, so I need to be pretty careful here with how I attach this this last one. I can't just put it on top of the of this guy. So what I can do is put a block like this on the front and just put the engine facing the other direction. So this should work, and then I can just map all these to different keys, and I can have, instead of turning, I basically would just be thrusting in the opposite direction. Oh my god, this will not work. I just figured out why this will work really, really poorly, and I'm gonna see it through to the end. This is a terrible, terrible plan. And the reason being is that I will rotate, and once I rotate, I am forever screwed because I will never be able to tell which engine is actually going to be the one that I will want to be pressing. Yeah, so that's what I expected, is that I have to constantly be reorienting myself to figure out which buttons I should be pressing. I can keep track of it somewhat because I can always just stare at the front of the ship. Oh yeah, that was terrible. So the other thing is that by having this part in the front, I threw off the balance of this build. So yeah, this will never work. But what I can do is listen to my chat, and what they're suggesting is a weaker engine, and instead of so we'll do that. We'll do some thrusters along the sides here, maybe, and then just put a tail fin on the back. That makes a lot of sense to me. So this will make it a okay. Yeah, that definitely is a lot easier to. I can't turn. Oh, yeah, this is preventing me from turning because the wing's in the way. I'm not able to overcome the drag provided by the tail fin now. That's very interesting. So I can never turn around unless. What's preventing me from turning around? Something about the. I think if I have, if I'm moving forward too quickly, I will no longer be able to turn all the way to the left and the right. And I think it's just because the turn radius is just too wide. So what I need to do is move these thrusters back more so that it's the thrusting energy is coming from behind. Yeah. This makes a lot more sense. So now if I get up a bunch of speed and then do this. Now I'm still having the same issue. That's really interesting. I don't really quite understand what's causing that. Take the normal wing and turn it vertical? What will that do? Is that just like a broken thing in this game? I find this highly dubious, but we'll see. Oh yeah, you can't. I don't think I can do that. Wait, there it goes. Why was it freaking out about that earlier? Okay, well here we go. We have the normal wing, and we're just gonna put it on the back. Boy, the physics engine in this game is way better programmed than what I am used to. I think it actually does a lot more than like what Scrap Mechanic did. Because it looks like the position of that wing is it looks like the engine and the wing are kind of fighting against each other. Very neat. Okay, what if... Let's go ahead and restart this. And what if I put 2 wings on there? I also like that this game performs pretty well, too. So, whatever they're doing a good job with it. Alright, and what if I just do this? Just for symmetry. When in doubt, symmetry is always a good thing to strive for in a build. I don't know what this is doing, but this is really neat. Okay, we now have thrust. Yeah, that works. This is indeed more maneuverable, but I wish that the thrusters were a little bit better at overcoming the inertia. Like if I want to start turning around, I need to do it now before I end up going too far forward to like the bridge. And then when I start thrusting, it takes me forever to overcome my my inertia there. So maybe instead of these mini thrusters, what if I replace them with the Dragon Jet engines again? Yeah, they must really be actually programming some sort of directional, like, they must be doing something interesting. I don't really know enough about physics programming and video game engines to be totally honest, to make like a really educated guess here what they're doing. But they're doing some pretty cool stuff. If that, well, oh, put a thruster on top of the cabin. This is neat. I am learning a fair bit. That was just trolling. Unless they meant mini thrusters. The other thing I can do is if I... Oh, here's something I can do. Propulsion. If I switch back to the mini thrusters, I can also put mini thrusters on the front that will help rotate when I am attempting to turn. So if I do... These will push against the cabin, I think. Nope, not that one. Let's try this. And we'll set this so that this fires when I press A. No. I want this to fire when I press D. And I want this to fire when I press A. This should do what I think it will do, right? Yeah. Huh. No. It got less maneuverable again. The more wings you add, the more turning you gain? The hell? That's how it works? Alright. Let's try that. If I put more wings on. I am so lost right now. You're guessing that the wing creates lift normally, but the direction changes according to the orientation of the wing. It might be programmed to do it that way. Like, it might not be as smart as I'm giving it credit for. It might be the case that the wings just generate lift based off of whatever direction they're facing. So, what the hell? Yeah, the more the wings turn, the more wings I put on, the more turning I gain. But now I can't turn very well. Yeah, like sometimes it works. Okay, I guess what I need to do is probably just add more in the back. Like... how about... Let's respawn. Build this. What if I just put them on the sides again? Like that. Will that work? Sort of. Boy, this is a weird build now. This has gone directions I really did not expect it to be going. But that seems to have helped a little bit. But oh no, okay. That's bad news. That's bad news. What if I were to... Are these wings even set up correctly? Yeah, they are. Okay. Think of a fan boat. I don't know what the hell a fan boat is. Okay, what if I replace these thrusters so that they can overcome the inertia a little bit better? Because what I would like to have is a car, as a hovercraft that can basically just turn on a dime. That would be ideal, but I gotta make that happen. So if I use stronger thrusters, I fuck it up. That's so weird. Oh, of course. Of course. Now I understand. Now I get it. Now I get why I'm not able to turn after a certain point if I'm moving too fast. It's because the air is pushing against the top of the wing. It's basically, if I turn it, right, like the aerodynamics change so that like it's just pushing back against my ability to turn, and then I end up in an equilibrium. No wonder I can't. That's so obvious to me now. Oh man, this game was programmed really well. It really simulates that pretty nicely, I have to say. I wonder how much of it is just default Unity, because I think this is a Unity game. But yeah, like, imagine what I'm basically trying to do is I'm trying to do this while thrusting, I'm trying to do this but move forward, like if I were trying to move towards that road right now. So obviously the aerodynamic profile of the craft is not going to let me do that. So if I turn the thrusters off when I do it, I'm not moving as fast, and that will allow me to do this. That's very interesting. So that means that what I could do to help this, so all these wings are on the back. So if I put these on the if I put a similar system on the front, it should actually work, because the aerodynamic profile will be different. That makes sense to me. Let me move this back a little bit so that I can maintain the symmetry of this build and see if my theory is correct here. And now I'm getting confirmation in the in chat that the that this will actually work. Huh. Yeah, let's try it. So if I put these two wings in the back and I put these two wings in the front and make them match like that, then that should change the aerodynamics of this thing so that it's able to turn better. Okay, looking promising so far. Now let's start thrusting. That did it! Yeah, man! That's so cool! That's so cool! I learned actual things. I'm a smarter person having done this now. Man, thanks, Trexian. Huh, that's cool. No, really, like, thank you. I did not even consider, like, it just clicked to me right now that the aerodynamics are what, make that be the case. I couldn't figure it out for a long time, but, like, it's totally obvious now. So, the more wings I add, the more it'll work, because what I can do is I can achieve the same benefit by, wait. Yeah, it should work that if I put wings on the sides as well. Well, I'll experiment with it and I'll find out. Why the hell not? We'll just put them on the sides and we'll figure it out. My assumption is that this actually won't work because by putting these wings like this, I've created like a major axis and a minor axis, which means that it almost operates like a sail, and if I put like wings on the sides, what I'm doing is I'm basically putting like a sail orthogonal to my other sail, which would cancel it out. Like that's exactly what this is. It's just a sail. I'm just using a sail to turn, basically. I actually learned principles of like aeronautic. Like I don't know how to describe it. But I feel like this is actually like grounded in reality. That's weird. I need to learn a stupid fact now to counter this out. Okay, so I got rid of the major and the minor axis now, so I should be able to we'll at least know. Okay, yeah, that did not make it any worse at steering. In fact, it made it better. That's really interesting to me. Cool, man. This is really neat. This is a really neat little build. I learned things, and I'm a big fan of it. Thank you so much for your input through there. I had no idea where it was going, but it just totally clicked, man. So thank you. Bird, do you read chat? Yes.
I said that too.
I read chat. I read chat, damn it. I read chat.